Chris, a documentary produced by two local men honors the service of the Tuskegee Airmen. In their own words, debuts tonight in more than 24 states across the country, including one in Augusta. These World War II vets are credited with flying thousands of sorties, earning more than 100 distinguished flying crosses. The Tuskegee Airmen helped pave the way for the integration of the U.S. Armed Forces. And it is my distinct honor to introduce to you Tuskegee Airman and National Aviation Hall of Fame enshrinee Colonel Charles McGee and Charles Anderson Jr., the son of the chief flight instructor for that program. Gentlemen, it is an honor and a privilege to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. This is going to be a big night, the movie debut at the Regal Cinema. Already one theater sold out. They are moving the movie to a second theater at Regal 20. This has to be gratifying to both of you.
Indeed.
Let's start with you, Colonel. We only have a short time. I wish we had an hour to talk.
Yes.
But it's been many years since you flew in World War II. As you look back, what was the single biggest thing that you can remember?
Well, you know, what we accomplished certainly kind of paved the way, and it's like saying, you know, if you don't know where you've been, you don't really know where you're going.
True.
That's been said many times, and this experience puts in permanently the experience, and that's important particularly for the young people today who are America's tomorrow.
A whole new generation learning about your group, the Tuskegee Airmen, who were so brave and so gallant, and we just appreciate all that you did to save our country during World War II. Now, your father certainly played an instrumental part, didn't he?
He did. 75 years ago on this date, Dad took First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt for an airplane ride over Tuskegee, the surrounding areas, and she was the type of person who, she was a pioneer in her own rights, as we all know, but she heard that blacks couldn't fly and didn't know how to work airplanes, so she went out there and she said, well, I want to take a ride. And shortly thereafter, against the wishes of the Secret Service men, they had a fit when it was found out that she was going to fly with one of these guys, and they were trying to contact the president so they wouldn't get in trouble. By that time, Dad and her were gone.
First Lady had a mind of her
yes,
own.
She did.
I like that.
but
she did.
But that said, I just have to. It's an honor to be among the Tuskegee Airmen. I'm going to pile on with this gentleman. He's a Tuskegee Airman, but he also flew in. He wanted to fly in Korea and Vietnam, and this happens to be probably the most accomplished Air Force combat pilot ever, with 409 combat missions.
409.
So that's and he just happens to be a Tuskegee Airman, so we're going to claim him. but that said, I just wanted, and also add on to we just their focus and Dad's focus. Dad would be comfortable here. I'm a little nervous, but this man is not nervous. But back then the focus was on the future, and the future is again our youth. So we just want to continue to inspire youth to look at these guys and know that there's nothing you guys can't overcome.
The theme is aviation and opportunity.
Yes, and there is still opportunity for young men and women who are interested in that field, right, Colonel?
That's right, and that's why the history is so important to know about it, but take their rightful place in the future. And there are opportunities in aviation and space, and we need lots of youngsters taking that track.
Now, you've set the example and the bar very, very high, both of you, and your father, of course, in the past. Tonight, when this film debuts at the movie theater, and in, by the way, more than 200 theaters across the country, what will be going through your mind at that point?
Well, for me, the fact that now there's some history that won't be lost, and that's so important. So many stories have not been told, and in their own words, tells a lot of the stories that will be preserved for the future.
And for you, sir?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is as to tack on to what Colonel McGee said, the history won't be lost, but we're getting some accurate history out here. So that's a
Thanks
big
to a couple of local
and Brighton Entertainment. I can't say enough about these guys and our accolades. to you guys, to Brighton Entertainment, because they just had a mission, and it's a Christian company, and they had a God-given vision that they wanted to get some accuracy and some, at the same time, preserve the story of the Tuskegee Airmen, and it's just interesting. I'm not going to sit here and try to out-preach anybody, but when God sees you on the right path, it's nothing that you can't overcome. And my, again, accolades to Brighton Entertainment.
Amen.
Indeed, great for the future.
That's right. Now, of course, you can see this magnificent film tonight, 7 o'clock at Regal Cinemas, and we hope you'll come on out. They've had to open a separate theater for this debut tonight. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.